Hello, everyone. This is the Arise Beautiful podcast. Here, we like to talk about the topics of self, relationships, spirituality, service, and career/school, if that's the season that you are in your life. And I like to have real conversations with other women that are real life demonstrations of each one of those topic areas. And so I'm here with my homie, Tamrah, the messenger. And so I'm going to let her introduce herself to you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, how y'all doing? How you doing, sis? Thank you so much, first off, for getting me out of my comfort zone and having me on the show, so I can give a message or two. They call me Tamrah the messenger. That's what I go as right now, because I definitely have a message, as a lot of us do. But I am here to spread truth and the ultimate truth. I feel like, there's a lot of things that I come with a lot of things, put it that way. But for the most part, I'm here to spread the truth, use my voice, not just speaking, but talking, music, well as action. Action is just as important. So I've been doing a lot.
Absolutely. So I asked her on here to talk about the topic of spirituality, because I think that is a important part of self. And so here at Arise Beautiful, one of the things that, my main message with Arise Beautiful is worthiness and self-worth, and in moving through this earth as your authentic self, moving through this earth as someone that is confident in knowing who they are, right? And so with spirituality, I believe that is an extension of who we are. And that's something that also needs to be fed, just like our physical bodies and our mental. And so spiritual is one of those pillars that I believe to be very important. And so some of the work that you've done, I've been watching, and I benefit from directly. I got some music meditation tracks from her that have been really great in my own journey. And so we'll start with the general question of, what is your area of expertise?
What is my area of expertise? I would say it's a few things. The main thing is music, and also energy work, as well as metaphysical. My goal is to deal with the internal, the real you, who you actually are, and to help tune that up. And how I do it is my action through what I'm doing here in life. So I do it through sound, I do it through my energy work, and for the most part, and just knowledge, just tapping into what we say spirit, so that I can do what I need to do for myself, not just for everyone else, but this definitely goes when it comes to myself. Like, it's most important, because a lot of us, when we figure out things, because we had to figure it out for ourselves first, and then we reach out to the rest of the world to help them, because a lot of people going through what we going through. So yes. Yeah, that's it for now. I might add a couple other things under my belt, but as well as meditation. So what comes with music is sound, meditation, which is a big part of this whole thing, what we call spirituality, from what I've come to know.
Okay. So in your opinion, what is spirituality?
Well, we need to break that down.
Okay.
We definitely need to break it down. So I wrote some things. I wanted to come in as authentic as possible, because that is also the basis of part of spirituality, being your authentic self, who you are, just being, not what you do, but who you are. So I put a little things when it came to that, because I didn't really want to write the answers down to all the questions. You know, I didn't want to feel like I was reading and I'm a mechanic. So I'm like, but when it comes to spirituality, I got to kind of break it down a little bit.
Okay.
So we have the root word for spirit. Let's see where we at. Matter of fact, where does it come from? What's the etymology of spirit? It comes from a Latin word, which is spiritus, or spiritus, right? It's from Latin, and it means a breathing, respiration, and of the wind, breath, the breath of God, inspiration, the breath of life, high spirit. You get the point, right? And then also another word called spies, or it's S in parentheses, then PEIS. So I'm not gonna act like I can pronounce it right now. I'll spell it, and then y'all can look it up, because it's definitely something you can look up. And it means to blow, right? Let me go farther down. Spirit, like mid 13th century, it went to animating, or the vital principle in man and animals, right? So think about it. I always say we are God manifested in the flesh. We are. And I like to use this analogy. Spirit, it lives in all of the living, the trees, the animals, the air, when you can see it, getting in tune with nature is that's God in a sense, you know? Not in a sense, that's God. And I mean, not as in your conceptual God in the sky. I mean, like whatever religion or whatever you decide to choose to call God. You know, I don't want to get people to get have a misunderstanding with those concepts, but it's something greater than you. But I also like to use this example. So you got the car, right? The car is the body.
Yeah.
You got the person that's driving. That's your soul. The spirit is the engine. If you don't have no engine, that car don't drive. So basically, when spirit is done with your body, are we here anymore? So I think a lot of times we use spirituality as like a trending thing. Like it's really just being. It's a state of being. ITY is a state of. And then literally spiritual, it means to be. That's one of the definitions, one of the etymology definitions. So it's really just the state of being. And a lot of people find themselves when they just be. Sometimes you hear a person, they go and they go somewhere quiet, and then they just sit still, or they might meditate. That's how they connect with spirit, because spirit is always there, but sometimes we kind of like, let everyday things make us feel disconnected, because we aren't working on our relationship with spirit. Like we're not connecting with it. A lot of us, we're not going outside now because of this pandemic. They telling you to stay in the house, but like literally you need to go outside and connect with you. Be. So that's all it is, a state of being.
Yes, well, you just broke that down. You took us to school. You broke it down real good.
I try. I be trying. I do my best. I'm not gonna say I try because I'm working on my language, but I do my best.
Yes. And again, everything that Arise Beautiful is about this self being the center, right? Like,
right.
Everything flows from there, right?
And what's the center?
The spirit, the soul. Like in
soul.
Yes.
But think about it even more. So I'm a Leo, right? Leo rules the heart. And one thing I do when I work on your tuning, I'm like the mechanic. I tune your insides up. I help balance and align you mind, body, and center. And everything that I do for other people, I darn sure do it for myself. And I'm doing so much work on myself every day. So I'm just like everybody else. I see me in them, and when you get to a certain state of being, you'll see me in you as well. But what I do is I help people return to the center. And what I mean by that is I deal with the 7 energy centers, your chakras. We have way more than that, but the main ones that our bodies really operate from, so our root from our crown. And it's 7 of them. You got 3 from the root, the base of the spine. That's the root. Then you have the sacral, which is 2 inches from the belly button. Then you have the solar, which is 2 inches above the belly button. Mm-hmm. Then you have, I'm going to skip one so you can see how it comes together. Mm-hmm. Then you have the throat, the first eye, and the crown. That's 3. That's 6. The last one is the one in the middle, which is your heart center. Mm-hmm. And that's the seat of God. That's where God sits. So when that's open, and not just like, I love my partner or I love my dog, like it's a whole different type of love that flows through there. And when you have all of those balance and you're operating from that space, when you can love people unconditionally without conditions, that is how that is when the magic happens. That's how everything starts flowing. You know, not material, not when I get this much money, not when I do that, because people are dying, killing themselves with a bunch of money. That's when you're wholeheartedly connected to spirit, to the spirit within you. And you're operating from this heart. Like you're doing what you do because you love it. Right. But you're also doing what you do because it helps people too. Mm-hmm. And that comes from a heart space, for to even want to help somebody do something to get better. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I love that. And even from the mental health perspective, like understanding how emotions are stored in the body, you know, all of that good stuff.
Yeah, I could definitely talk about that. Like I said, I'm a work in progress. So I do the work I do on other people, I do on myself. So I definitely understand what you're talking about.
You know, in one of the areas that a lot of people struggle with, and the number one killers of disease, that heart center, right? That heart disease, that, you know, hypertension, these things that stem from that place. Mm-hmm. And some of the emotions that are stored there, you know, your sorrow, your heartbreak, like those things that people don't necessarily deal with on a day-to-day basis, that we like to suppress and
right true,
move everywhere, and then don't realize the physical manifestation that has on our body. You know, and so when you're talking about this misalignment, and you know, I always tell people, like, emotions, they are energy, like they have to go somewhere.
They get stored in your organs. And it's like, so when I say I do energy work too, I'm a Reiki. So not a lot of times, our chakras are connected to the organs in which that governs that section. So literally, like if your solar is out of place, you're going to have digestive issues. Emotional, there's 3 levels to it. There's the physical level, there's the emotional level, and then there's the spiritual level. Everything that manifests physically or external happens internally first. That's another reason why I use the word understand, because you have to know it from inside first. You have to understand what's going on emotionally. Why does my liver hurt? What am I thinking about? What is triggering that organ? Right. What's going on with why can't I have children? Like people not understanding certain things, like you haven't not being able to have children has everything to do with I wouldn't say broken, but a blocked or an unhealed part of your sacral energy. Mm-hmm. It's a lot that goes with our mental. Everything goes hand in hand. Emotionally, mental, physical, financial, like
Yeah.
it all goes hand in hand.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep. And I agree. And back to the analogy that you were saying about like spirit being the engine that drives all of these things. And so, it just reminds me of when that is out of place and you are not putting in the work in that realm, what I'm saying? You're not fueling your body, you're not fueling your healing, you're not fueling the things that
Yeah.
you need to really succeed in life. Like like you're kind of just there and things are kind of just happening and not really yeah, things are just happening. And so what I found in, at least in my work, what I've seen is, people do all the therapy that they want. They come to these sessions, they do a lot of stuff, but something just isn't clicking. And they're continuing to deal with some of these other things. And to me, it seems like it's that spiritual piece. And we're not talking about like, you need to go be Christian and go pray somewhere. We're not talking about
Yeah. It's a little it's a little different. It's a little
yeah,
different.
it's just this connection to that power source. And I feel like that is what unlocks what some, I can give you tips and strategies all day,
Yeah.
on how to deal with your mental space. But I think it's that spiritual like lifeline that allows that to actually morph into what you need it to be for yourself, if that makes
But
sense.
think about it. Think about it. The world doesn't allow us. I don't even want to say that. The world makes it whoever has constructed this or whoever is in control of this earth. And I don't mean like spirit. I mean like literally who created the rules and the 9 to 5s and all that. It's not designed for you to get connected. So for you to take time for yourself, to get to know yourself, to get to have that relationship with the creator that you are from or that resides in you. We're so busy doing everything else, and we're so busy working on our outer appearance so we can look good, or trying to get that money, that chicken, that moolah, we we forget about our internal self. Like, and it's very interesting how like when you just stop thinking about all of that and just go within, everything clicks. So then we can be able to play this game more sufficiently.
Yes.
And that's what I'm still learning.
Yes.
Because it's like sometimes I feel like I didn't belong here. But we all belong. We all here for a reason. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm still trying to figure out how this works and why this is like this and all that. But I understand it more and more. It's about getting out of my own way, as well as a lot of us, so that we can utilize the knowledge that we're given. Because literally, like when you connect it, like literally tap in, all the answers that you want come to you. You don't really have to go searching for it. Like it's within you. So that person you need for an answer that for a question that you have that have an answer, they're gonna find you eventually. That's how it works.
Yep.
So just taking that time to tap in is
Yeah.
important every day.
Yes.
Every
day. Yes. And I feel like, and it's from that space that creativity flows, right? Because I tell people all the time, like, we all have different unique characteristics. We all have a different makeup.
Right.
A lot of time our experiences may distort some of those characteristics and our interpretation of those characteristics. Right? You got a crazy looking, bump on your face. You got, you got an extra toe. You got a crazy sounding voice. Like all of these weird things that we have labeled good or bad in all these things, but these are tools I feel like that have been placed within us to help us in this world. And so it is a place when we can silence out the world and the expectations and this whole system and be able to come back to self and be like, okay, like you gave me an extra toe. Like, how can I use my extra, like, how is this extra toe going to solve the problems of today's world, right?
Yeah, it's literally about accepting who you are and knowing that you have the power to be a better you, you know? That's really what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's important. Acceptance is really important because if we can't accept where we are, it's very challenging to change. It really is.
Yep.
Because then you want to be something that you're not. And you're going to change. You're just going to be filling a void, or you're going to be trying to be something that someone else is that you're not authentically. So like it's literally accepting who you are, being, and then what you can change it. And what you cannot, leave it. Accept it, forgive it, he, she, that, and keep it moving.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yes, yes, yes. So how has spirituality, excuse me, how has spirituality impacted your life in your journey?
Man, it's impacted me a lot. Like I say, it has brought me where I am now. It's allowing me to heal. It's allowing me to forgive, and it's allowing me to see what I'm here to do. Like literally, I never thought I was gonna be doing energy work. It helped me make sense of who I am. The things back in the day when I'm like, why my hands and my energy like this? Why can't I wear gloves? But now I understand. It's really helped me and still helping me be and becoming who I really am and unlearning all of the things that didn't serve me, and relearning. It's like basically it's helping me deprogram and reprogram my computer system.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and just knowing that I can do literally anything I put my mind to. Like, I used to think that was cliche, but I've had too many experiences where, and I see it from people now that is really true, because it embodies everything: spirit, mind, body, and soul. It's all wrapped up into one. We are. So we literally manifest and we create. Like, we are creators. We have to create. That's what a part of who God is. God is a creator. We create things.
Yes.
That's what we do now. We can either create things to destroy or make things better. So spirituality definitely has helped me in many, many ways. Just to even understand like the things I thought was bad, or like, my relationships or stuff like that, where I used to be upset, but now I see like the lesson in them. How everyone is here for my growth. And it might not seem like it, like this person, you probably think you had the worst mate of your life, but this person was sent here to help you either point out some things that you might not want to see or wasn't ready to see, and just it to help you grow. Like, it all helps us grow. It's opposed to anybody. So it just helped me change my perspective on things. And the more I connect and tap in and do my routine to keep me spiritually connected, to keep me together, I could say. I can't even really explain it though. Like, I've been trying to put things into words, but sometimes it's just like you can't really explain certain things.
Yeah.
It's just the experiences of how spirit shows up. How you see the impossible or the invisible. Like, literally, I say to people all the time, they ask me, how do you know God exists? And I'm like, well, how do you know air exists? You breathe it, right? I mean, that's real. We out here breathing something, and we call it air.
Yep.
So like, why can't you believe there's something greater than you? And I don't mean like you give your power out, but there's something that fuels you. You know, it lights that candle. It's like, let's go. I'm about to show you how godly you are. Do you know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
about to show you some of the impossible. And I'm about to show you how fast manifestation works. Like literally, we all do it.
Mm-hmm.
We all manifest. We think about somebody, they call. Like, you know, like all different types of stuff. Well, that's, I guess you call that's like psychic or telepathy.
Yeah.
But either way, like we all have these gifts. We
Yeah.
all can unlock them. Um, it's just the fact of tuning into them, you know. And how do you tune into them? No, it's a good question.
Well, keep going. Keep telling us. How do you tune into the spirit?
Well, for me, and also like a few people that I've been meeting along my journey. The main thing that helped me tune in was meditation. I didn't really know what it was. Um, I prayed a lot, which definitely pray. There's nothing wrong with praying. I think people get it mixed up when you start to wake up, people start denouncing certain things, but that's because they still don't have a understanding of what it all means. But prayer is very important. Prayer is just as important as meditating. Meditating helps you tap in. That helps you get the inner knowing that you already have, you know? It helps you get messages that you need. It helps with downloads. It literally helps you mentally. Like now we have a lot of science that's able to show you how good meditation is for your mind. Sound has helped me. When I was producing, I mean, I still produce, but when I first started, I had my first studio with my first studio partner. I started learning about, I didn't even know how I got into this information, but it just was coming to me. Like I said, when you're ready, the information just comes to you in all sorts of ways. People, it just show up on your computer. Like, I don't mean because Big Brother watching. I mean like literally because certain things is ready for you. But I started learning about chakras and the importance of like sound, like really. And I thought I was just gonna be making music to help heal people, but it really like changed the trajectory a little bit to doing sound healing in a different manner, which is still like a form of sound meditation. Because when you listen to music and when you listen to sound, it basically like stops all the thinking. For real, for real. It's the only time that your mind is working in its entirety. And it really can just really soothes you. It frequencies, all of that. It definitely changes who you are on a molecular, a cellular structure. No lie. Because it happened to me. And if I didn't show people pictures of me while I was going through my transformation into tapping in to like really doing my work, and people would not even know that was me. But not just meditation, sound, eating healthy, cleansing out my temple. Our temple is very important. And the cleaner it is, the better the vessel is for spirit to thrive in. Eating healthy helps with your mind. It also helps, unlock that, get all that gunk out of your pineal gland. Like it's really real. These aren't really just stories. These are stories based off of what actually happened to people. And people, you have to do it to experience it so that you can understand what these stories actually mean. And they're telling the story of you, of who you really are. What else helped me? Changing my perspective, forgiving people, and understanding that everybody's going through their own thing. And sometimes people don't know how to act, I guess you could say. And I've been working with children for a long time. So I know as children, when they don't know how to express themselves, they act out in behavior. And we do the same thing. We literally do the same thing. Because we're just big kids. We're
Yep.
just big children. who just grow up taller.
You haven't learned the skill yet.
Exactly. So just like healing and just being around, talking good to myself.
Mm.
One thing that's very important when I feel like my mind is all over the place, I'll just go in the mirror and I'll talk some sense into myself. And I don't care who hear me because I'm not crazy. But if you think I am, then you can think whatever you want. But literally, like, I talk life into me.
Mm-hmm.
And, I tell myself I forgive myself for whatever it is that I need to forgive myself for. Just even if it's just being hard on myself. It's just, or if I had freaking French fry and I know I ain't supposed to, not supposed to eat it, just come on. Like, it's all right. Just get up, get back on it. So like affirmations help me a lot. And just not giving my power away. Because when you start giving other people your power or looking for someone else or situations that make you feel good instead of you letting it be you or the relationship you have with the creator, your higher self, you really can get yourself into some mental stress. You really can get yourself in some emotional stress because you literally give people your power. We give people our power every day. And I definitely can admit to that. And when I'm not having a good day too, it's easy to give your power away. Like, so just breathing, telling myself it's okay. Knowing that everybody going through their own thing and not to take everything personal because it's not. Everybody has a battle that you have nothing about, and not to compare. What I'm working on right now is not to compare my life with other people because a lot of us are here for many different purposes.
Yep.
And when you get caught up on how else someone else is living or the dream, you forget about who you are and what you supposed to be doing because you don't necessarily, your job is so much different than the other person. You might not supposed to be a singer or a rapper or this and this and that. You may just really supposed to be an energy worker, or you just really supposed to speak the truth and help save souls with the information that you have and whatever else that you do. So it's literally not getting caught up in that and being okay with being alone. Not alone. Because when you're alone, it doesn't matter if anybody comes in and out your life. It doesn't matter if you, I won't say you have a job, but nothing really matters for real. Like you just start seeing life in a different way. So you start moving differently. Right. Literally, you start making your own rules. And the creator, the universe works it out for you too.
I like one of the questions that I always ask my clients, right, when they have these rules and structure in their head, I always ask, like, says who said that? Like, who says who that you can't do that? Who said that? And I do that a lot of work with unpacking some of that, like, whose voice is actually in your head? Is that your voice? You know what I'm saying? Who's talking to you? Are you talking to yourself, or is that your mama still ringing in the back of your head? Is that teachers ringing in the back of your head? Like, who is, like, what does your, people are like, what do you mean? I'm like, what does your inner voice sound like? Like when you're alone by yourself, quiet, like, what does it sound like? Is it loud? Is it a whisper? You know what I'm saying? Does it sound like your mama? Does it sound like you? Like, what is it? Have you ever stopped and paused long enough to figure out what your inner thoughts sound like?
Yeah.
You even know if they even belong to you?
Yeah, that's really interesting because I found myself saying sometimes, like, is this me feeling this way, or is this somebody else's? Like, I really do. Like, even when it comes with emotion, because not sometimes, energy is very transferable. So you really pick up on other people's energy and how they're feeling. Some days I might be like, I'd be around a lot of people. Let's start feeling sad. I'm like, why? I was not sad. Like, what is up with that? But it's not necessarily your sadness. It's whoever you're picking up on. So, um, yeah, I know in my part of me when I'm doing my still get to know myself, my self talk. When it's me, I feel like when it's very stern. Like when it's like the creator, the higher me, it's the positive me because that's who I really am. And it's like, girl, if you don't stop playing, you know who you are. You know, like that is me because I do. You know, like I said, sometimes I need that reminder sometimes. Or somebody will call me, like literally, or text me or DM me, and they're like, thank you so much for everything you're doing. Because I might feel, sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be like, oh my gosh, I really needed that. And I'm like, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. One thing I forgot though is to say like gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude is another way of how I deal with my spirituality, like just expressing my gratitude, period, to my ancestors, those like directly connected to me. Um, just being grateful for everything I have, because gratitude gets you more. Does. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we can complain and stuff, but that doesn't really get you anywhere. You know, um,
No.
I do think people should take like a couple minutes to like get stuff off their chest, but not to complain continuously, because like literally I was just saying the other day that there's so many people that's probably well worse off than me and well off than me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just be grateful for what I had while I'm working towards the rest of it, because it's already here. Everything we want is, and that we desire, it's already literally here. We just kind of have to like align to it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. And I always tell people like our brains like understand like the capacity of like your brain and how like powerful like your mind is. Like you literally
Mm,
create your reality, right? And so
good.
you can, even if you make terrible decisions, like you have the power to change your mind. You have the power to do something differently. You have the
Right.
power to problem solve your way out of like we are made to adapt ultimately, right? And so that's the difference. Like I think, yeah, we should be real. We should be able to acknowledge like, man, I'm in a tough situation right now. Like this sucks.
Yeah,
Like,
because we gotta start. We got that's about it. That's about accountability, because we can act like nothing's our fault, but then we get nothing done. There no change happens for the better anyway. We just keep blaming other people. This helps us like be accountable for ourselves and what we did do, what we didn't. Forgive ourselves for the poor mistakes that we had, or for when we didn't know.
and understand too, like the one thing that I always tell people too is we sometimes get this mentality that if we do things a certain way, then certain things should happen, right? If I'm a
Right.
good person, good things should happen to me. And that's, my friend,
Not true.
is not true because bad things happen to good people all the time, right? And so
Yeah.
there is going to be a time in your life where you fall in circumstances that are not your fault. You know what I'm saying? And again, understanding your power and
Right.
understanding being able to step back. I feel like being able to step back and spiritually see, like I think that's where that spirituality becomes important because that's that power source where you
Mm-hmm.
can step back and say things are terrible right now. I'm in the dark, you know, but there is this wisdom, there is this sense of power that can help me get out of this circumstance. It may not
Right.
feel good right now, but I have the power to make change happen.
Right. That is true. Because I think we're a society that's based off, we need to see everything to prove it. And that's not how it goes. You know, when it comes to spirituality, or when it comes to the spirit realm, um, you gotta use your right brain for this.
Mhm.
It's just an innate knowing,
Mhm.
period. Like, and you're not gonna be able to see it, and it's okay. because we so used to be the controller. We want to control everything.
Mhm.
So sometimes it's hard to see the bigger picture, but it's literally about letting go of control. If you only
Absolutely.
can control what you control in your life, that's self-mastery. That's what we all here to do. For real, in my opinion, is to master self.
Yep, it is. I do. When I look across history and the people that have really impacted history, it has been people that were willing to bet on themselves, even in the midst of looking
Yeah.
crazy, you know, even in the midst of persecution. They knew without a doubt, and they trusted whatever that thought or idea was, and they saw it through to the end. You know,
Yep.
the things that would have seemed crazy and not fathomable happened because of that tap in. You know what I'm saying? Like that spiritual
Yeah.
realm gives you different eyes to see, and it taps into that creativity. We are creators, right? And so if there is something that we need that is not here, we have a mind that can create the blueprint for that thing, that tool that we're going to.
You're so right about that. You're so right about that. I had a dream over during the pandemics. I was doing a lot of meditation, and it was like that was actually pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie. Like when it first happened, I just had a lot of time to just like recalibrate, rest, and just do and just be.
Hmm.
Not always having to go somewhere, get ready for work, or timing my meditations. Like I could meditate as long as I freaking wanted. Okay. But I literally had a dream, and somebody showed me a creation that I remember, and I drew and everything. Now, figuring out how it's going to come into fruition, that's a whole nother thing. But definitely gotta just go for it and not be scared to fail. That's my advice for myself. Like, who wants to fail? Nobody wants to fail, right? So, like, a lot of times, failing is the reason why people don't keep going because they don't like the rejection. They don't like the way it feels. But like, we're supposed to learn from our failures.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
it helps us with being able, instead of being reactionary, like you said before, is take a step back and look and see before you act.
Mm-hmm.
Your response changes. You
Yep.
know, when you change your mind about different things, when you tap in the source,
Mm.
everything changes within you. It
Yep.
changes who you are. It changes your thinking process, what you put in your body. Like it's real.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really real. There's nothing taboo about tapping into spirit. It's just now, instead of putting it out there to thinking someone else is gonna come and save you, you realize that you are the ones that have been sent.
Yes.
You know,
That you got a mission, a duty.
we
Uh,
got something to do.
yes. You got something to do, you know.
We got something to do.
So one of the things I like to say is that like your purpose is mainly to me is like your mission statement, right? And so for me, like my personal mission statement, like I know, like my without a doubt, like my goal in this earth is to affirm people's self-worth, to let them know like their value in the world. And my message is always going to be that. And I was telling people that's almost like no matter who sits in front of me, when I have a conversation with them, I want them to feel seen and heard and to know that they are worth something and that they're a person of value, right? Like that is my mission, period. And so I like to encourage people to come up with more of a mission statement than that singular purpose of like, I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to help people, right? Like, yeah, you're going to help people, but how? Be a little bit more specific, right? So for me, with that being my mission statement, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I could be flipping burgers. I can be a counselor. I could be on the street begging for change, but I still have the capacity to still do my purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I'm tapping in every day. And the reason why I know that that's my purpose is because I have done the work, and I sat down and I'm like, God, what am I doing? Like, what is this flowing out of me? I don't even understand why people are drawn to me. I don't understand, half of the things that's going on, but this is what I radiate. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is who I am. And so it comes with taking that time to like pause and really get to know self. And I think I make other people comfortable because I'm comfortable within myself, that I can listen to you so that I can see you, that I'm not trying to jump ahead and guess what you're going to say to me, predict what you're going to say to me, but to let it flow. And there's a freedom in that. And I think that comes from understanding yourself and the spiritual part of you, because yeah, okay, I'm cool. I can say I'm a cool person all day, right? But it's more than just being cool. Like, to literally see people drawn to you, to really, I'm talking to you and I'm thinking I'm just having a conversation with you, and then I can see, change happening. Like, it's so much more than that. And so when you're able to like tap into yourself and understand that you are so powerful, and you don't have to do much but show up. Like, do the work and show up. Like, I don't know how much, like, just show up. Like, that's my thing. Like, Arise Beautiful, the whole thing is, showing up as your authentic self, as we started this conversation. Like, just show up and be you. The spirit empowers you.
A lot of us or people are trying to find out who they are, because since birth, like, we've experienced so many things and seen so many things, and it changes who you actually are. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it creates people that never were supposed to be.
And that's a fact. Yeah. And so the purpose of this, I think, for me in this conversation is to understand that there's two things at play, right? There's the outside and the inside.
That's right.
And ultimately, you have the power to decide which one you're going to listen to. You get to, you self-define. We want to self-define. We don't want our outside circumstances to define who we are and how we move in this world.
Yeah. That's important. That's important not to do that. It really is.
And these are the tools, and and I feel like that's where the spiritual side, I think, is really important, because that's the truth.
Yeah, because when you spiritually grounded, like, you can walk into a room full of demons. I'ma say demons, or low vibrational entities, and they won't even phase you. They will run from you, because they know some might tempt you, but they know damn well that your light, your power is too strong. You're not even going to be tempted.
That part.
You're not even going to do nothing but get you out of character. Like, with everything, like, I really, especially when it comes to my artists, like, I'm an artist myself, but when I look out into like the world and I see all these like the famous people and stuff like that, it's just literally like how they feed on our lower selves. And when we could tell someone that's not spiritually grounded, you can just look at what they create, because someone that's spiritually grounded can talk about the same thing, but it'd be totally different. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it is very important that we get grounded spiritually and connect with Mother Earth, connect with the God within you, so that we can shine our light the way we're supposed to and literally make our own rules out here. Like, you know, it's universal laws out here. As long as you're not damaging nobody's property or hurting somebody else, state of being, you good. Seriously.
Yes. I truly believe that. And even further, like whatever challenge presents itself to stop you, you still have the power to power through that.
You're gonna keep on growing. You're gonna glow right through it.
Yep.
You're gonna move right forward. So
yeah. So
I encourage everybody to tap in. Like, I literally do encourage everybody to find the source of their power. And to always do things to stay connected, like create a routine.
Yeah, routines are very important. And so I guess in closing, I do want to bring it to your music, because that is what got me to ask you to come to the podcast. But your music, and how your music as a tool to help with that meditation, that centering piece.
I'm not gonna lie. I never made meditation music until that day, until I made all those and sent them to you.
Really?
That was a shift that happened during the pandemic for me, where I was doing a lot of meditating and reflecting, you know, this period on my life and the state of the world. And normally when I create music, I don't ever know what I'm going to create. Some people say, no, you should know, but I literally create from a deeper place. I create soul music. I create whatever comes out of me.
Right.
And I use music as an outlet to transmute my negative energy to something positive and beautiful and loving. So when it came to those tracks, I literally just like I put one down, and then I heard something and I added to it. And I literally was doing this for a couple days until I had like 7 songs or whatever. And one song I played on the keyboard straight for, I think, like 7 minutes. And I think you have it. It's called Peace.
Yes, my favorite.
The other ones I didn't really play. I played, but I like to do this thing where sometimes I find loops and I like compress them, and I do this and I do that, and I just arrange them. But Peace was one of the productions I made that I literally shut the lights off. I had like this colorful light bulb, and I use colors too through my meditation when I do sound meditation, and I just played for 7 minutes straight, and that's what came out of me. Period. And something was like, just give them out, because I already knew, like, I was going through something during the pandemic too. Like, I'm not perfect, so like it was making mentally, I had to sit still and deal with all the negative thoughts, all the things that I thought I healed from, and just I needed something to help my mind. And the music thing.
That's what I got.
That's what you got.
Now y'all see this. Now y'all you're hearing this. Okay, I'll tell you the backstory, right? So she had posted that she had released a song on Spotify. So I had purchased the song, and I love this song.
Thank you so much, because that was me putting me out there for the first time, like, to get paid for something that I love to do. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, so I purchased this, and you see, again, look how we're connected, right? So I purchased the song, and I love that song. So I said, hey, do you have any more music? And so she produced these 7 tracks for me. And they are amazing. And so for me, I'm the type of person where my mind is always running, and it's really hard for me to shut my brain down. But these tracks have been life-giving to me, because after a long week of seeing clients, especially, back to back to back to back to back, to be able to go and lay in my bed in the dark and listen to these tracks, it's freeing. It helps me to release, like, all of that energy that's not mine. It helps me to calm my brain and kind of center myself and get back to myself, so that now I could be present for my kids during the weekend, so that I could relax and just fall into my weekend routine. And so, to me, that's amazing that in your healing process, you were able to produce such great music for me to be able to heal myself too. And so
I didn't send them to anyone before that. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna send it. I put it all on SoundCloud, and then I was like, let me just send them. Let me just go down my Facebook Messenger and my Instagram, my DMs, and just send them to people. So you actually literally like started that movement for me to just give them to, because if I say I'm going to use my music to heal, that's exactly what I mean. I just never knew it would go like that route, honestly. But I'm happy that it did, though. I really am.
But I love that connection. But again, I feel like that's that spiritual thing, that pull, right? Something I was like, oh, this is working for me. I'm going to reach out and I'm going to affirm my sister, like, that this music is good. Can you give me some more?
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do.
And that's how it is. We share our gifts with each other. And as you're flowing in your giftings, even again, at your worst moment, you could be in your darkest hour. But if you're tapped into the spirit, what you're producing is still going to be healing and helpful to other people.
Right. And I think a lot of us we get caught up on numbers. This whole thing is about like how many views you got. So like sometimes I feel like, and I have had these emotions where I had to also check myself, where I will post, maybe put a song out or just a demo, just even like promoting my sound meditations, and I'll use my music in the background. And if I don't see a lot of people like it or view it, I'm like, man, but no, that's just not even what it's all about. It's literally, it don't matter if it touches one person. It's about helping people see who they really are, changing them for the better so they can operate at our higher self. That's what this is really about. It's not about the views. It's not about the likes. Yeah, that's cool. It is. It really is cool, because once you continue to progress and be consistent, of course, your numbers are going to grow and people are going to want what you have, because we got to give the people what they need, because then they'll want it. Right. If I'm constantly giving people what they want, then I'm never going to be able to present me. I'm just going to keep giving them what they want. Right. But no, like, let me just keep giving you this music. Let me keep giving you this meditation music. Let me do this, and eventually then they'll come by the numbers. You definitely get what you can handle.
Yeah. So I agree. And I feel like for me, I try to do everything in love. And so if I'm not feeling loving, I try not to do it. Even with my baking, I'm not about to bake. I won't, if I'm in a bad mood, I'm not going to bake no cookies, because I feel like.
But you know what? You should sometimes. I want to say all the time, but I'm going to say sometimes, because like I said, when your creations, doing what you love changes your energy.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. It depends on the energy, because right now baking is healing my grief. So my baking, when I'm really sad because I lost my mother, so that's where
my condolences.
Thank you. But yeah, so that's where the baking comes. So it is a healing process for me, and that's also kind of like apart from my therapy. That's another developing area for me. Healing through baking, which I believe has been very healing for me, and we're gonna turn that into a thing. But eventually,
right on, yeah, your passion, turn it into purpose.
But again, that oh, I forgot what I was talking about. That love, like doing things out of love and from a place of kind of like humility. Like, yeah, numbers are important, but like really checking what is the focus, what is the purpose of what I'm doing right now.
Right.
We're honoring ourselves and providing for people out of like the overflow of who we are. And so with that, because we could be here talking
all day, you already know.
all day. So one of the things that I always like to do with every episode with my guests is have them do an Arise Beautiful affirmation, because affirmations are important. You talked about how your self-talk are important, and I love to do my Arise Beautiful affirmations, and mainly because Arise Beautiful, for me, that sounds like a command to your like inner self, like arise beautiful, like come forth. And so to share with my listeners, I would like you to come up with a Arise Beautiful affirmation. So starting with Arise Beautiful and then filling in the blank.
All right. Make sure this is not long because I'm going to tap into spirit. I'm going to let whatever comes out, come out. Arise beautiful. You are God manifested into flesh. Let the spirit fuel your passion and your flame.
I like that.
That's all I have. That's all I have.
That's it. That's it. That's all you need. That's all you need. We don't have to overtalk it. We don't have to overthink it. Lay it out.
Lay it out. Short and simple, sweet and to the point.
I love that. Let your spirit fuel your passion. That, yeah. Absolutely.
Because the very thing you're passionate about is probably what's going to help you thrive. Your gifts that you are given, your God-given gifts, your talents that you were born with, those are going to help you thrive. Really, honestly, that's how I feel. You're not giving them for no reason.
Exactly.
And you're definitely supposed to share them and with other people and learn more.
Amen.
That's how it is.
Yes. So this was a great conversation. Thank you.
It was beautiful.
For being a guest. Like I said, we like to let the conversation just flow naturally, and really, show real life demonstrations of what it looks like to tap into the spirit. And then before we go, where can we find you?
There's a lot. You can find me a lot of places, so you might have to pin this in when you.
I'm gonna add it to the description. So
I have 3 Instagrams, and I got to give you all 3 because they're all parts of me.
Okay.
Which make me. So I have Tamrah the Messenger. That's TAMRAH_ the Messenger, and that is where you find me. Period. My messages, what I'm into, what I feel or find or to be true during my journey, and I'll share them on there. What I'm doing, the events I'm doing, the music that I have, all of that is like comprised into one Instagram. Then I have Alignment Productions, is something that I created in 2018, where it's my music. So you'll see all different styles of my music, and that's EYELIGN _productions, right? And then the other one is Soul Alignment Elevation. I know everything is so long. Soul Alignment Elevation. Let me just make sure I say it right, so y'all won't be looking for me like I can't find you because you said it wrong, So hold on, let me say my soul alignment. Now, what my soul alignment is, that is my Instagram, where you'll find all of my like energy work things that I do. When it comes holistically, what I do, my sound healing, my Reiki, and just things like herbs and stuff like that, things that help us get into alignment. Because it's a lot of things that go with it. So those are just the main things I my ancient healing modalities, my alternative healing things that help our internal being. So that's soul, that's SOL_alignment, the same way I spelled it, EYELIGNMET _elevation. So yeah, that's a lot. Like, yeah, that's a lot, but that's what it is. So follow me, y'all. You won't be disappointed. But I'm in Philly. You can find us in Philly too. My Reiki master and us, we opened up a new energy healing center in Germantown. It's called the Energy Healing Center of Philadelphia. So if you Google that, you'll literally find us, our address and our website, and you can book us. We just opened on January 1st. So we fairly new, but we building. So now y'all could come. There's a place that I will be, and you can come and see me and all the other practitioners, whoever you choose, and we'll be there to service you.
Amazing. Well, again, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, if you like what you heard, definitely check her out on Instagram. If you in Philly, definitely stop by, say hi.
Come on through.
If you enjoyed the podcast, you enjoyed our conversation, like, subscribe, comment, share with your friends, spread the word. But definitely tune in again to Arise Beautiful for what we have in store for you next week. And,
please tune in to Arise Beautiful. This is a beautiful podcast, and I love what you're doing. And keep doing it.
And that's it.
All right, sis. Thank you so much for having me. We'll talk later.
Yeah.